Hi, everybody. I am your Easy Life Ambassador and your Money Manifestation Queen. You are my fellow ambassadors. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing a success story with you guys, and this is related to court. So I had a favorable outcome in court today, and I wanted to share the story and the entire journey with you all. And it's a little different than my normal success stories, which tend to orbit around finances and things of that sort. So let's dive right in. I want to say almost a year ago, I caught a speeding ticket. I was doing 85 and a 55. I do not recommend that, guys. I have an issue with driving German cars faster than I'm supposed to. I love German cars and I love driving fast. So that's something we'll have to work on. Yeah, anyway. So I caught this ticket, and the trooper that pulled me over, I'm from New York. I live in New York, right? So those of us that are from New York, you know that if a trooper pulls you over and he has that Curious George hat on, you are cooked. And what happened? I got pulled over by a trooper that had the Curious George hat on. This guy was no nonsense, and he did me no favors. He wrote me up at the 85 speed, because sometimes you'll get a nice trooper and they'll bump your ticket down like 5 or 10 points even to kind of do you a favor when you go to court. Not this guy. And it was almost the interaction, I felt like he wanted some smoke with me. So I intentionally was super kind to him, super bubbly, and I could tell that it threw him off a little bit. So let's fast forward. We go to court about a month after I get the ticket. He doesn't show up. Now, normally in circumstances like that, the court's supposed to dismiss the ticket. The officer's not here. Case dismissed. But this officer had such a good reputation with the court. He was known for showing up. He is known for showing up on time, never missing court dates. He's diligent. If he's on the calendar and supposed to appear, he's appearing. So he's not one of those. So he had written in to the court, I guess he was on vacation, and he had written in informing the court like, hey, I'm requesting an adjournment. I will not be able to make it. I'm on vacation. So the court granted that, and I was pissed because I had been manifesting a dismissal. So I'm like, this is my chance. When I heard that he didn't show up, I'm like, I'm that girl. I manifested a dismissal. The judge was like, pump your brakes. So yeah, the judge ended up granting him the adjournment that he requested, and I, like I said, was not happy about that. I didn't love that, and yeah, I even said something to the judge. I'm like, aren't you supposed to be dismissing my case? Like, he's not here. That's not fair, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, I would do the same thing for you if you needed an adjournment. And that ended up working in my favor because I ended up needing 3. So fast forward to today. We get to court today. Now, I just want to remind you guys and preface this by saying this officer is diligent. He does not miss court. He's always where he's supposed to be. The courthouse loves him. The judges in that courthouse love him. He has the most pristine reputation. So obviously I was like trying to, strong arm the court into like giving me a more favorable offer, because they had given me an offer and I did not want that offer. So obviously we ended up having to be scheduled for trial. So I, with the adjournments, was trying to I have a couple of little tricks I do to kind of mess with court calendars so that I can get favorable outcomes and things like that. But we're not going to discuss that in this video. So I was trying to do my little tricks and stuff on the side. They didn't work. They just kept granting me my adjournments on the days that the officer was available. So fast forward, we get to court today. I walk right by the trooper. I may have given him a head nod, but I don't think I just said hello just yet. I go in to sit down in the courtroom, and one of the prosecutors pulls me into her office, and then she pulls in the officer as well. So while we're in there, we're just going over my driving abstract and things like that. And I asked, I said, hey, is there any way that we could reduce this offer to something a little bit more favorable? Because I'm not loving it, and I really please help me. So she's like, legally we can't. And then the officer interrupts her. The same officer who is diligent about coming to court and doing defendants no favors, and he's known for being mean. He's known for not being kind. He's known for not being flexible, right? He cuts her off and says, well, let's do this other thing. I'm not going to say the code, but he offered another statute, another code that reduced the offer to something more favorable. And at that point, I was grateful. I signed the paperwork for it, and everyone in the courtroom, once we left the office, so even she's like, wait a minute, you've got a heart today. And, he kind of chuckled it off. All of the other officers that were in the hallway that overheard the interaction began kind of laughing and joking. So this was a huge deal. So we leave the office and we go back into the courtroom. And then it gets back to the other prosecutors and like the other officers in the courtroom that like this trooper just did me a favor. And they're all giggling and conversing about, like, you know, obviously respecting the courtroom etiquette. They weren't like talking out loud, but they were like, it was a huge deal. So that showed me that like I'm still that girl when it comes to manifesting, because I was able to get a favorable outcome. It wasn't the outcome I wanted, but it was good enough. Trust me, it was good enough. But also, it goes to show like how when you are manifesting things, the moving pieces and the complexities and the other areas of stuff are also taken care of. So some of the techniques that I've used, because I know you guys are going to ask, I used visualization. Like I genuinely, after like I didn't get the dismissal I wanted, I was like, I've got to really crank in, I've got to lock in on this. So I used visualization, and what I specifically visualized was myself leaving happy. I know what I feel when I'm happy. I know how I look when I'm happy. And I've been to this courtroom before, this particular courthouse before, so I already knew the layout. So I would randomly, it wasn't like something that I did like how I script every day. It wasn't something like that. It would just, whenever like, oh shoot, you've got to go to court came up, I would just automatically go into a brief moment of visualization. And I visualized myself leaving court with this favorable outcome, smiling, laughing, giggling, hey, thank you, Your Honor, things of that sort. And that's exactly what happened as I left the courtroom today, by the way. Also, when I would discuss that I had court coming up with other people, and they'd be like, oh, what'd you have court for? I would tell them like, oh, I've got to go take care of a traffic matter. And people that know me know like I'm always in traffic court because I'm always speeding, right? So they're like, oh girl, good luck. And I'm like, I don't need it. It's going to work out, blah, blah, blah. So I was already putting it out there in the atmosphere. And to me, that was more of like a set it and forget it kind of method. And maybe even like, you can even consider that the telephone method. So these were techniques I used that were like kind of just subconscious because they're already like programmed as techniques of mine. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. I hope you enjoyed this success story. I love you guys. Bye.